One of the most often repeated pieces of photography advice is to bring your camera with you everywhere. Bring it to the grocery store, take it with you in the car, shoot every single day. And it's decidedly not bad advice, but it can also turn into something kind of ugly too. It's Friday, this is Snapping App. Welcome back. My name is Nick. This is my weekly-ish mini-series about all things photography and videography. So I feel like photographers online tend to yell a lot about bringing your camera to the grocery store and having it kind of surgically attached to your person, but nobody talks about the things that trying to always be a photographer can actually ruin. Let me talk to you about this really quick as a person who does bring my camera almost everywhere with me. There's definitely a version of this where the camera actually becomes a wall between you and the experience you're trying to have in the present moment. You're at dinner with a friend and you can only think about the light and the compositions around you. You know, you're hanging out with your partner and you're only half present because you're thinking about photos. It is definitely possible to find a balance, and I think a lot of people are capable of doing that, but yeah, sometimes photography can really start to eat into the experiences that are supposed to feed the hobby. Last year, when I was at the Getty in LA, I was finding it particularly difficult to enjoy the artwork and kind of immerse myself in the experience that I was having because I was just so focused on photographing it and documenting it. And I'm definitely not saying to leave your camera at home if you're going somewhere as cool as the Getty. At the end of the day, I'm glad I brought my camera, but occasionally I find myself in these sort of FOMO, scarcity-driven kind of mindsets where I'm looking around and I'm like, I want to enjoy the art, but I also want to shoot this and look at this architecture, and I'm talking to my friend or whoever I'm with, and it just all ends up being overwhelming more than it is creatively stimulating or conducive to me growing as a photographer or capturing anything interesting. In a perfect world, we could live every moment a few different times over. You could do it once by yourself, once with a camera, once with a friend, with no distractions. But that's just not the way that it works. And then on the other hand, the other day I was popping in and out of galleries here in Asheville where we're staying for about a week, and I noticed this oil painter, this impressionist who was doing all these really cool cityscapes, and just fell in love with their artwork, and then immediately went outside and felt super inspired to try to recreate the look with my camera using a slow shutter speed, and it was a really positive experience. This topic is very much about how it can be both. It can go either direction. And then sometimes when you leave the camera home and your goal is to kind of always have a camera with you, always be a photographer, it can feel like you failed, you know, just because you're at the grocery store or running an errand and you don't have a camera on you. Especially when you know, see examples online of these photographers who supposedly, you know, don't leave the house without a camera ever at any time. But that guilt that you might feel is manufactured. You didn't sign a contract, and most of us aren't making any money off of this stuff, particularly not photographers like me who are, you know, street and documentary photographers. It's not a job, it's something that you can take seriously, but you don't need to hold yourself to this arbitrary standard of always being a photographer. We have the luxury of doing this for fun, many of us who aren't out here shooting weddings and senior portraits, so, you know, act like it. The better framing, which admittedly doesn't make as good or compelling a hook for a TikTok or YouTube video, is that rest is just as much of a learned skill as always being a photographer, always being a creative person out with a camera. Letting your eye reset, letting yourself be bored once in a while, letting yourself, you know, see images that you know you can't capture. I think living without the reflex to pick up a camera and snap something is, you know, once in a while a good thing, a cleansing thing. But resting and taking breaks is actually, you know, part of being productive. I actually view it as part of the work, or more accurately, a prerequisite for doing the work in the first place. You can't pour from an empty cup, and I do think that it becomes difficult to get out of your comfort zone and see new things if you're constantly looking at everything through a viewfinder. And I say this for the record as a person who has a really difficult time slowing down. All too often, I, and I'm sure many of you, treat rest like a reward. But you just don't perform at your absolute best when you're burnt out. You can see it in my own work if you know where to look. That's why, for example, I'm trying to get much more okay with missing the occasional upload here instead of always forcing myself to just churn out more and more and more. And the classic thing that you always hear, I think, is true. Feeling exhausted, feeling burnt out. It's not a sign that you need to, you know, take an afternoon off and start resting. It's a sign that you've already missed a ton of rest and now your body is demanding it from you. Taking an afternoon off at that point is kind of like taking vitamins to boost your metabolism when you already have a really bad cold. I'm still working on this, and I'm still working on not feeling guilty when I haven't picked up my camera in a few days, but trust me, you make your best stuff, or at least I do, when you're well rested, when you have time to step away and kind of come back at it with a clean slate. And as a bonus, I find that when there's space between the photography sessions, when I have, time in between, I'm chomping at the bit to get back out there instead of dragging my feet, wondering why I can't bring myself to leave the house, why I'm, leaving to go shoot an hour after I meant to, 2 hours after I meant to. There's that friction sometimes when it's just nonstop that totally disappears and gets replaced with excitement instead. Look at the work of people who never stop producing. A lot of the time it gets better technically, but doesn't get more creative. The whole hustle mindset and all of the stuff that comes with it can kind of show through in your work when it becomes formulaic and safe versus creative and experimental. There's a big gap between always wanting to be out there creating and being afraid of what'll happen if you stop. And I think the version of us that, always wants to be out there with a camera only exists as long as there's fuel to burn. Everybody has a different threshold for when it's gonna turn from being, a fun challenge to get out there with the camera every day to something that is very much not fun. And you have to figure out what that is for yourself and not, hold yourself to a standard set by someone else who might have a totally different threshold, or maybe someone who's always out there but has a really, really good process for resetting mentally. So really, I don't think that the advice to bring your camera everywhere, bring it to the grocery store, I don't think it's inherently bad advice, but I do think it sets a precedent that's potentially damaging of, this always on mindset, this hustle mindset, always creating. And really what it comes down to is the fatal flaw behind most advice, which is that, different people benefit from different approaches to things. You can't just say, always be creating, take a camera with you everywhere, and just universally apply that to everyone in every situation, every scenario. Some people have really demanding jobs or families or whatever that prevents them from getting out every day or even every week, and those people and their experience and the way that they create and how they find time or how frequently they find time, it's all valid. And if you are pushing yourself really hard, that's respectable, but you also need to make sure that you are relaxing, resting, finding a way to reset in between. So what I'm interested in is, how do you do that? How do you find that balance? Let me know, and hopefully we can help each other out with some ideas in that regard. Your eye is still going to develop when you're walking around without a camera. You don't have to be taking photos in order to, be thinking and looking around you in a way that's creative and inquisitive. And there's always going to be another opportunity to take photos tomorrow, next week, next month. So, don't beat yourself up for not creating at the rate of somebody who does this full time or is an influencer or whatever on the internet. At the end of the day, that's the main thing that I want to get across. So thanks as always. I'll talk to you very soon in the next one.